Hey everyone, so I want to talk about a couple of other actions I built out for Nintex Workflow Cloud recently, and again I used Nintex extensions to get this sort of stuff into Nintex Workflow Cloud, and I'm hosting it on my own server. So to kind of preempt all this, is this production ready? I would recommend you guys not use this for production, only because one, security, it's not there's no sort of security around the calls to this, and this is running on my own server. So is it going to be up all the time? Hopefully, but I can't guarantee it. So definitely something to just tinker around with, but not necessarily use this for production. What you could though do is, if you do have a say hosted VM somewhere and you want to build something out like this, you can definitely do it. And this might be a way for you to kind of test this out, prove that you can do what you need to do, and then just build something out. If you need the source code to it, let me know. I can shoot it over to you, but it's not rocket science. It's actually pretty straightforward. So really just is more of a proof of concept, and you can kind of go back to the business and say, hey, you know what, we could really use this. We can use a designer, we can use this automation tool. We need this sort of functionality. It may not necessarily be in Nintex Workflow Cloud, but it's pretty easy to put it together and host it somewhere and then add it to Nintex Workflow Cloud. So what I've done is actually created this category called Vadim's unit conversion. And I've created 4 actions in here. Convert length, temperature, volume, and weight. And I'm going to just quickly drag these onto the designer. You'll notice that each one of these on the designer actually has a little gear on the top left corner. That's just telling you that it hasn't been configured yet, so you'll need to configure it. Now, when you click on it, you'll see on the right here, I've got for convert length, what unit of measure are you interested in? And these are the 8 that I support at the moment. Same with the what you want to convert it to, right? Same list. And then you put in some number, whether it's something that you type in hard code, don't know why you necessarily want to do that, or it's something that you want to grab from a list somewhere, or from a database, or from a form that somebody fills in. And then you store the result in what I'd recommend is probably a decimal variable. All right, so that's convert length. Convert temperature supports 3 temperature types: Celsius, Fahrenheit, and Kelvin. Same sort of thing, right? So I tried to keep the same sort of interface for all of these. Volume, we've got liters and gallons that we currently support. And then weight, we have these 5. For some reason, I forgot to put the S on the end of those, so I could probably fix those later. But this lets you do that sort of conversion really easily in your workflow. Now, let's actually have a quick look at an existing workflow. So here is a public web form. There is nothing on the form, right? It's a blank form with a submit button. I'll show it to you in a moment. I have a convert length, which I've just hard coded or typed in the value to. So I want to convert from meters to inches. And then I log that information. So I log 2 meters equals, and then my variable, and just the word inches. Now I'm going to jump to the next tab and just refresh this. Now, before I actually click on submit, let's go back here. This is instances. This will show me all the workflows that I have. Now, you'll notice here, unit conversion test workflow. I've run it twice. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to submit my workflow. Come back here and refresh this. And then we should see a running workflow. Oh, it actually finished really quickly. Great. So there's my third one. I can click on it. It's 1022. Perfect. And then you'll see in here, 2 meters equals 78.74 inches, right? It ran the convert length action and then ran the log to instance details action. All right, that's how easy it is. To actually install it, what I've actually done is shared the open API definition for those 4 actions on my blog post. So it'll be on vadimtabachman.com under the Nintex blog. And you'll be able to download that. And all you really need to do is go into Nintex Workflow Cloud, click on Extensions. There'll be a little plus orange button right here. Click on that and you'll be able to import that. So I'll do a really quick example of that. Here's my unit conversion JSON file. Click on OK. Click on Next. You'll see security is set to none because I don't have any security on this particular service. And then you can modify the name of it, the description, etc. So my category is that, right? So you can change it to something else. You have the icons you want to use, which are these are the 6 out of the box one, but you can create your own, right? 48 by 48 pixels, and make it look the way you want it to. Once that's done, just go back to your workflow designer. If it's already open, refresh it. Otherwise, click on Create Workflow, and you'll see that category there called Vadim's Unit Conversion. So if I scroll down, there it is right there. Right, pretty straightforward. Now in a previous blog, I actually showed you another one that I created called Vadim's Math. Now since then, I've actually created a bunch more actions in here, and you'll see there's a ton. I've added a bunch of area calculation actions, so I can drag that onto there, and you'll see I can put in one side of a rectangle, second side of a rectangle, and I store the result. And the message is if there's an error, it'll get stored in there, but it's not required. I have some conversion actions and some volume calculations as well. All right, well, like I said, not really a production set of actions, right? Because it's hosted on my own server, but definitely have a look at what these can do, and maybe reach out to the business and go, you know what, I'd love to do this. We can build this out really easily. We can host it on a on a VM that we have at the moment, kind of like an always-on VM, and then you'll be guaranteed that stuff will work. The other cool thing you can do is you can actually do something like this in the actions that you build as part of your REST service, is that do a lot of exception handling in there, right? So do wrap your code, if it's C#, wrap your code in some exception handling, try catch type functionality, so that if there is an error, you can store it in a text message or text variable, and then you can actually build your workflow to be a little bit more robust and capture the fact that, oh, there was an error for whatever reason, maybe the server's down, etc., or maybe it tried to do something, try to talk to some other system that was down. Capture that information, let somebody know, and build some retry logic into your workflow. All right, well, hopefully this gives you a little bit of an idea of what you guys can do with Nintex Workflow Cloud. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. All right, thanks for your time, everyone.